So three, two, one, and we are live. All right. So hello world, hello Web3. We're officially launching Jaya Tech Talks, a brand new series made for senior developers and also CTOs who are expecting to navigate their Web3 career journey. And this is our episode 1 kicks off with we are trying to build something that is significantly helping everyone, especially for all the job seekers. And I'm super excited to have you all here. And trust me, this is the only beginning of something really special. Now, originally, this intro session was supposed to be led by our CEO, Zhanna Manzyk. But unfortunately, Zhanna is a little bit under the weather today and her voice isn't at 100%. So I'll be stepping in as your host for today's kickoff. But don't worry, you'll be seeing a lot of Dominic as the head of talent of Hero.io, also our advisor, who will be your host for the upcoming sessions in this series. So Dominic, since you'll be leading the future episodes, maybe you can say a quick hello and share what excites you about hosting Jaya Tech Talks today.
Yeah, thank you for the warm welcome. It's nice to be here again, and I really like the community feel of Jaya Talent. So I love to be in this forum. Well, today because it's the first time we're talking around technology. We're talking about engineering. We're talking about jobs in engineering. It's going to set the scene. We're going to set the scene where we're at now in the industry. We will have a guest speaker who's himself a co-founder and a CTO. So we'll understand the current landscape, which is moving fast in many ways. Number one, how people are applying for jobs, how they are being considered for jobs, and even what jobs are now available. We all know that AI is a huge disruption right now, and it's a disruption in some positive ways and some negative ways. So we'll go through that. And we will also talk about a few specific things about our industry with blockchain and Web3. It has its peculiarities, it has its nuances. Um, so that's a summary of what we'll be discussing.
Amazing, amazing. And what can people actually expect as an outcome from listening or maybe joining the
Hmm.
podcast?
Yeah. Well, it would be easy to just talk about trends and say the obvious about what's going on with job seekers and hirers in the market in our industry, and there will be a little bit of that. But I think we would like to offer a little insights for people that can get a bit of an edge, that can look at their own the way that they communicate to the market, the way that they communicate their skills and the position and their value in the market, and to provide a bit of tips around how that can be done better. Because at the end of the day, we're not here to just yap around industry trends. We want to give job seekers a value and how they can get ahead, and we also want to um, change the culture of hiring in the space as well in a really positive way. So we'll be actually giving a lot of insights, a lot of tips, a lot of tricks to mostly job seekers.
Oh, that's really cool. That will be 100% cool. And maybe one of questions that I'm having for you
Mm.
as a launching of this program is you've been experienced in like recruiting or maybe interviewing thousands of candidates.
Yes.
And to this current trends, what do you see the most difference, or maybe what are the difference between the regular maybe hiring process compared to the tech-based process hiring process,
Between which and which again?
which is tech-based and non-tech?
Oh, tech-based. No. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Well, tech-based hiring tends to be a lot less subjective because code doesn't lie, and unless it's AI code, but in general, hiring managers know if someone is a good engineer, or if they've got the potential to be a good engineer, or if they're thinking like an engineer, or an engineering manager or a leader. These traits are very obvious, and they have a very strong foundation in programming and coming up and programming products. So it's a lot less subjective, and you'll have a lot. Let's say there's three people, stakeholders involved in an interview process from the company side. You'll have a lot more consensus around this person. Whereas if we talk about non-tech hiring, so anything related to sales, marketing, community, creative, etc., even design, people will have a different opinion, and there's going to be a lot more internal discussions in the company, whether they think this person is qualified, whether they like this person, and if they're a good fit for the role. So that's the main difference. There are many differences, but I think that's one that especially engineers and developers can have some comfort in. That if they say the right things, they do the right things, they show the right work that they've done, they should generally go further in the process.
I see. So maybe the steps are also differences, and also the type of portfolios that is provided also differences. And you've mentioned also that the code doesn't lie, and which is actually true. And even it cannot be helped with AI. The code speak by itself. But regarding the current trends, what do you see? Like, is it still on a high demand regarding the hiring tech, or maybe companies looking for Web3 developers?
Right. The last 3-4 months, even 5, I would say, there has been a shift. Starting from macro level, ever since Donald Trump introduced tariffs, and look, all business is related to the economy, so we need to start there on macro level. So ever since the tariffs came in, there was a huge disruption at the beginning of the year, and ever since then, I've seen two things. Companies, one, have been slow and steady with hiring, because the economies around the world are adjusting. Capital is adjusting, people are adjusting. And number two is the rise of AI. So it's an economic shift and technology shift. These are both combined causing businesses, companies, projects in Web3, blockchain, and crypto to think about what they're doing and closely analyze what they're doing, which also means who they need in their team, and whether they can develop talent internally or whether they need talent from the outside. So I see companies going through this exercise. We are going through this exercise. We're actually an AI company, and we definitely don't see a need to drastically increase headcount of Python engineers or machine learning engineers, because we know that now you can get a lot more out of an engineer because they have a lot more tools available to them. So that's more on macro level. And sorry, the topic, remind me again the topic.
So the question is like, how do you see like the current trends of the
Trends.
base tech hiring?
Yes, so that's a macro level. And if we bring it down to micro level, more tactical, more on the ground, I'm seeing a trend of there is a little bit of a worrying trend that, let's say, non-senior developers and engineers are struggling because they don't have the foundations that a senior engineer has. And when I say senior, I'm talking about let's say over the age of 30 plus minus. They've got a Web2 background from Python, C++, C Sharp, those sorts of technologies, and they've moved into blockchain and they've transitioned and they've got 3, 4, 5 years experience. That's what I'm classifying as a senior, and they've got the mindset, or a little bit more product development mindset. They know what they're building for and why they're building. Anyone that's not fitting this category is a bit stuck because they are still developing their foundational programming languages. They've moved into Web3 or want to move into Web3, and now AI is available to them. and they're using it uh, often in a good way, but very often not in a good way, and compensating, using it to compensate for the lack of foundational skills. And companies and hiring managers pick up on this very quickly. Um, and it can be a red flag, but I understand the reason, because they need to get ahead, and AI is a tool that can help you get ahead in many ways. So they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. So I see that as a massive trend, and for that cohort of engineers and developers, I would say to exercise caution. Um, Everything from writing a CV in AI, or if you're going to do it, make sure it's highly, highly customized, and you add your language to it. You add your detail, and each sentence should be different. I can tell an AI written CV is written by AI because it reads very robotic,
Yeah.
and it lacks facts and figures. Only you know that. The AI doesn't know that because you have the job history, right? Um, and the AI doesn't have the job history. So from using AI to CVs, which I would avoid or be very sensible with, to using AI in interviews and take-home assessments and coding tasks and challenges. I've seen plenty of engineers be rejected just for that. And companies want to see critical thinking, and it's okay to validate your ideas with AI. Recently, I had a senior engineer in an interview process. He made the final stage. He was the only one out of all the other seniors. By the way, this was a senior who didn't use AI for generating the answers to the coding challenge. He only used it to validate it, and he actually was ahead of all of them, and the others were even more experienced than him. So that's a trend. But for those junior and mid-level engineers that have some foundation programming language or a decent job history and can build on it in a creative way and with a product mindset, that's where they'll find the advantage. Um, so so that's that's that cohort of people. As for seniors, leads, VPs, tech leads, CTOs, not a lot has changed there. The biggest difference there is that there's a lot of innovation going on. A lot of venture capitalists, investors, incubators, and so forth are experimenting a lot now with a lot more infrastructure, because blockchains have advanced really well. Privacy has advanced. ZK has advanced. Parallel computation has advanced. GPUs, all of it has advanced. There's a lot of innovation going on, and investors and founders, they need professionals to set up their hiring engineering processes, and to be founding CTO, founding head of engineering, or more. So on that level of developers, the seniors plus, they are being involved in the innovation cycle. So that's the two major trends. It's the non-seniors need to be very careful how they use AI and be very wise and build a foundation. And then the seniors all the way up to CTO that are now being snapped up to drive new innovative projects.
I see. That's amazing because I realized that a lot of HR or maybe recruiters also mention almost similar thing regarding the AI, which is don't let the AI handle 100% of your CV writing. So because it doesn't know the, like the numbers, any figures or things like that, because you only the one who knows it. And I think
Yes. And
it's
you're the
wise.
only one that can explain it. So if you
Yeah,
send me your CV and you've got your facts and figures that you told AI about, and I ask you, all right, tell me about how did you get to these numbers? What did you do? Why did you do it? Who did you do it with? Only the person can tell me that.
100%. Totally agree with that. And you heard him, guys, everyone. So the demand is still there. still raising, because the Web3 also always have something new every week. Especially like Dominic has mentioned, like every technology in Web3 has been advanced, always new every day. And you guys can see that even the AI things, maybe we might start it as a chat GPT, but now we've seen like plenty of AI out there that can be utilized for literally anything, but it depends on how we use it in a wise way. So the opportunity is always there. All right, so this is such an awesome insight for our sessions and for everyone. If you are still wondering about the Jaya Tech Talks, so you previously, if you are following us on the Telegram, also on LinkedIn, so from Jaya Talent, we have two different Jaya Talks. The first one is the regular Jaya Talks. Second one is the business development focus Jaya Talks. And this one we are creating the tech-based Jaya Talk. So it's much more focused for the developers, especially in the Web3, because we see that high demand in this type of market, and we see that a lot of new developers are coming every day, from the junior, from the seniors. People are transitioning from Web2 to Web3 with their maybe you will see in the LinkedIn on the, like X Google or maybe X Facebook or this kind of things with the tech background. So these kind of tech developer communities are evolving as well. So that is the reason why we are trying to build this kind of program. First of all, is to share some insights, to educate, and to open some opportunities in the future. And if you're watching us live on YouTube, feel free to invite your friends. And if you have any recommendations for the speakers, if you maybe admire someone or maybe a master of developers or maybe Web3 experts developers, you guys are always welcome to send us some advice, which gets to be invited on our Telegram group, and we'll be responding to that. And whether it's about careers, opportunities in Web3, or even feedback on what topics you'd love to hear in upcoming episodes, you can always text us on Telegram group or DM us privately on Telegram. And I think that will be the wrap up for our first intro of our Jaya Tech Talks. And I'd like to say big thanks to Dominic for your time, especially sharing some more insights and also spill some secrets regarding what is currently happening in the Web3 hiring trend. Because from your explanation, someone could literally create a LinkedIn post. So that is a really cool one. And to everyone watching, whether you are a senior dev, a CTO, a founder, or even just starting out in the Web3, this series is specifically for you, and we will be here to guide you, to inspire, and to help you to take the next step in your career. And this is just the beginning. Let's build the future one line of a code at a time. See you in the next Jaya Tech Talks. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, everyone.
See you next time.